Hey guys, it's Editing Anna with just a foreword before the video. So my original concept for this video was I wanted to have people share how they picked their school for steno, but it has been a little bit hard to find new students who are willing to guest on my channel and wanted to talk about their experience. So I don't think I was able to get the varied perspective I was originally going for. But luckily I got some of my classmates together today, and although the topic can't be how to choose a steno school in general because we all pick the same school, hopefully it does provide some insight into one school. That being said, we obviously all made a certain choice and we're a little bit biased, so take that into account while watching this video. And it isn't a catch-all guide to choosing schools, but hopefully it gives some insight into the process. I'm still considering doing another video which goes a little more in depth into how the school research process was for me, because personally I found it very difficult and a little bit frustrating, so I wanted to help out with that a little bit. So yeah, just keep that in mind. We're all from the same school, but enjoy the video. Oh yeah, and jump scare, but Mirabai blogged about me on the Plover blog this week, so thanks for the shout out. Hi everybody, today I'm with my classmates from Chi-C. I'm really excited to have them with me, so thank you guys for coming. And I wanted to talk about how we all chose Chi-C, because part of becoming a steno student is deciding where you're going to go for your education. So I wanted to find out more about my classmates and how they ended up choosing Chi-C. So if you guys could start by introducing yourself, just like maybe your name, like what state you're from.
Yeah, so I'm Desi, from California. I'm a manager at a store. So I was looking for a program that was asynchronous because while I'm lucky enough to have a job where I can work on school, I can't commit to being in class, depending how the day is going. So, and then I found the school on my Court Reporter Association website. So I called a couple schools, and I actually called one, and was saying they weren't accepting students from California. They couldn't tell me why. I know it was weird. And then so I called Jimmy though, and she told me about the program, and it sounded good, and that's how I pretty much the short version how I found Tri-C.
I'm Victoria Rooney. I'm from the Albuquerque, New Mexico area. I was in nursing school. I was taking all my prereqs, about finished, and a buddy of mine got me a job as a office manager for a court reporting firm. I didn't even know what a court reporter was when I took the job. It was part-time, and it was paying for my school, so that's all I cared about until I started asking questions and found out how much they made and were handing out those paychecks every 2 weeks. And then I decided, screw it, I'm going to do it.
Hey, so I'm Amanda. I live in Ohio. I work full time, so I'm doing school and work full time. And I found Tri-C because I was looking through like the NCRA website, and it was one of the schools that are closest to me. Since one of my main considerations was that I wanted it to be in-state, and so I was really happy when I found Tri-C and that they have a certificate program rather than like a full degree. So yeah.
Cool. Thanks. And I know you guys each mentioned a little bit about what was like your main priority when choosing a school. For me, what was my main priority? One of my priorities was like what theory was being taught, and that was something I definitely asked around all the schools I was researching. What theory did they teach? Can you guys talk about like what was like maybe the number one or two priorities that you had when choosing a school?
The biggest thing was the flexibility with work because I don't have time to, go in person. That is school that matches the NCRA requirements. And then I was looking into the theory it taught also. Those were the main things, honestly.
Yeah, for some people like asynchronous is really important, and for some people
Hmm.
they really want synchronous, like so.
Yeah.
But Tri-C is asynchronous option, so.
Hmm.
I picked Tri-C because it's asynchronous as well. I'm currently not working. I quit my job to pursue court reporting. I do full-time volunteer work. Well, I mean, there's not really a whole lot of options for court reporting schools anyway, especially in New Mexico. Like, I didn't have an in-person option. I was in touch with a student who was doing the court reporting and captioning at home. It's the
Mm.
CRAW,
Oh yeah.
and you just like pay that flat fee and then you do it whenever you want to do it. And so I kind of waited and kind of asked her questions about it and saw how she did, and she ended up dropping out and just pursuing something else because there was no accountability. Like she didn't have assignments due and things like that. So I knew I was a remote student going for nursing, and I already knew that was hard enough going to a community college. So I needed like that accountability. I needed to have my work due at a certain time. And yeah, again, the theory was a big one.
Yeah, same. I think for a bunch of us, like accountability is a big one. How about Amanda? You said in-state was one of your
Yeah,
goals.
yeah. So that was my main priority really was something in state. Since I already have my bachelor's and so I'm not eligible for like financial aid. So I wanted to make sure that it was something in state and still affordable, which for me Tri-C is, which is really nice. So yeah, that was kind of my main consideration was the location. Something else that's really nice about it being local is that I'm able to get my steno machine from the program as well for free.
Oh yeah,
So
that's a
that's
big
been really
one.
helpful. That's definitely saved some costs there. And it was also important to me to have an asynchronous program as well, but not something completely self-paced because I do like having the structure, but similar to like Desi and Victoria. But yeah, those are kind of my main reasons.
Yeah, similar to Victoria, like there wasn't options in my state, so like I just kind of started looking at like
Yeah.
everything that was remote.
Yeah.
So too.
And just watch a ton of YouTube videos. There wasn't a whole lot of information, but I joined like 4 different Facebook groups and just
Mhm.
watched people comment on schooling. And Tri-C was the top ranking one that people were promoting. So it's been so far so good, I think.
Yeah, I remember that too. I was like scouring the internet and like
Yeah.
I saw like a string of comments. Like I just saw like one like three
Yeah.
days in a row I was like reading positive comments about Tracy. It's like maybe this is the one. It's
Yeah.
it's hard to find info compared to like what I thought. So that's part of why I want to make this kind of video because I hope it helps someone in the future who's doing that kind of research. And yeah, similar to Amanda, I also like I have a degree already. I can't use financial aid, but like some of our classmates, for example, came from the military and going to a school where they can use like the military pays for their school, going to a school where they can use that benefit was an important factor in deciding for them. All right, so to close this one out, I wanted to ask, are you happy with your decision at Tri-C and would you recommend it to someone else?
So yeah, I really like Tracy. I'm really happy with like the instructors, the theory, the way the classes are taught, like that kind of format, since we have one synchronous class a week. And yeah, I just like everything about it. Like my classmates too, of course. I would definitely recommend it I would recommend it to anyone who's looking for a program, especially if you're interested in like something that still has a little bit of structure that isn't totally self-paced. And if you're also interested in like an accredited school.
Yeah, so far so good. I think with Tri-C, I think with any school, there's always going to be eh, things that you don't like about it. I mean, there's some professors and things in every school that rub you the wrong way, but you just suck it up and you do it. And I mean, for the most part, it's fine. But yeah, if you need financial aid, it's great. I needed that. So far it's been good for my financial situation. Yeah, like Amanda said, the classmates, like the camaraderie, it's nice. Like I was never that way. I'm just like put your head down, do school, turn in your work. But it actually does help talking to people about it. And at least for our theory one, Colleen has been amazing. Like she's been awesome. So that's new to me to have such an amazing professor that's been like at my fingertips the whole time. So it's pretty cool. It's been a good school. I like it.
So I agree with everything Amanda and Victoria said. If any new students are thinking about joining the program, I just recommend starting in fall maybe rather than spring if you can, because there has been some changes going on at the school and us spring start students, our semesters got stretched for a longer period of time before we finish. That's just right now. It might change, but if you're thinking about it, just maybe start in fall if you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's been the only downside, and it's a new thing. It's not the program's fault. Just you know what to expect.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
spring start, like I found out about steno like in the fall. So it wasn't like
Mm-hmm.
I could wait another whole year to start, you
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? I wanted a program that started in spring and I like when I called the director, I was like, is there going to be any problems? Am I going to have problems progressing if I start in the spring? And she was like, no. I was like, okay. And I don't know if how that will turn out, but now I'm gonna have to hold her to it. So
Yeah.
That reminds me, something else I really like about Tri-C too is that they have like a free course as well if you're not sure if you want to do the program or not. It's like a little free 5-week course where they have the first 5 weeks of the Theory 1 lesson. So you can kind of do that too and see if you like it.
definitely recommend finding out if you like enjoy the concept of steno before you commit. Like it
Yeah.
costs a lot, right? So
Yeah. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
Very high workload for sure.
Yeah.
all right. So hopefully if anybody's watching this, that helped you learn a little bit more about why we chose Tri-C and why it might be a good decision for you based on your needs or not. And we'll see you next time. So bye. Thank you.